Good morning, dear students. Greetings of the day. So we have already started our chapter number 6, Mauryan Age in Suksastan standard 6, Chandragupta and Emperor Ashoka. We have completed almost 2 live classes. Okay, and as for the instruction in this first part of revision, okay, after 2 days you will get your second part because this chapter is very long, and after this offline video you will receive your worksheet with perfect introduction and homework. So you will get the concept of the chapter, half concept that we have completed during this live class. And after in second revision class, we will discuss about the next part, different topics from the same chapter. In this revision class, okay, we are going to discuss about the expansion of the empire that we have discussed in first live class, founder and ruler, and the last point that we are going to discuss is the Mauryan administration that we have already completed. So you will get the introduction, proper concept through the PDF file in your respective class groups, and that we are going to discuss. Now first topic, the expansion of the empire. During the period of from 600 BC to 4000 BC that we have discussed before Christ, and that's why we are putting BC, before Christ. In this time of period, there appeared in India a few powerful kingdoms and republics. Powerful kingdoms and republics, dynasties, different rulers that came, ruled, established the dynasty in a different part of North India and as well as in South India. The first were smaller states known as the Janpadas that we have discussed. Smaller states, okay, smaller states that called are Janpadas. Janpadas. With the passage of time, after a few years, when time passed, after passage of time, these Janpadas conquered the neighboring states and thus were formed bigger state as known Mahajanpadas. And after they conquered and established their own dynasty, established their own kingdom with the help of the other small Janpadas and established Mahajanpadas. Small areas, small regions. With the help of Janpadas, they conquered different Janpadas and integrated in that small Janpadas, in small group, and made Mahajanpadas. Northern India came to be divided into 16 such Mahajanpadas that we have discussed in first semester. 16 Mahajanpadas that we have completed. Magad under the Bimbisara and his son Ajatasattu that we have already completed. Okay, so now as for the discussion, what we are going to do, the expansion of the empire, what happened? Okay, the rulers was not only great conquerors but also great administration during that time. Mahamadapa, Nanda, Magadha continued to progress further when Alexander, invader, came into India in 326 BC. Okay, Alexander the Great. Alexander came into India in the year of 326 BC. Outsider, invader, came into India, and Magadha was being ruled by Ananda ruler, Dhanananda. Chandragupta Maurya was probably from the Maurya tribe of family of peacock breeders. It is believed that he served in the Nanda army and after that he left the army when he was humiliated by the Nanda king. Now first one, expansion of the empire. The first, Chandragupta Maurya and Chandragupta's Maurya, first one. First, we are going to discuss how he extended his empire, how he established the kingdom in the North India. So, making the best use of the confusion which prevailed in the Punjab after the death of Alexander. Young Chandragupta Maurya, with the help of his companion Guru Chanakya or Kautilya, one mark my dear students, with the help of Chanakya. Chanakya or Kautilya. Okay, after the death of Alexander the Great, he came into India in the 326 BC and took the help of Chanakya, his best friend, his best companion. Drove the Greeks out of Punjab and conquered in 322 BC. So, Chanakya helped Chandragupta Maurya and drove out from the Punjab and defeated Alexander in the year of 322 BC. 322 BC. In the next year, making the best use of the unpopularity of the last Nanda ruler, Dhanananda, he conquered Magadha in 321 BC, and after Chandragupta Maurya also defeated Dhanananda. Dhanananda, the last ruler of Nanda dynasty, and also defeated. Who defeated Chandragupta Maurya? Defeated Dhanananda in the year of, after 1 year. Here he defeated in the year of 322 BC, and after in the year of 321 BC he defeated Dhanananda, the last king, the last emperor, the last king of Nanda dynasty. Then he never looked back and added one territory after another his state, and after he defeated, he won lots of battle because he took the help of Chanakya, and with the help of Chanakya he won all the battles. Now he became very strong, very valiant, very enthusiastic. Now he wanted to conquer all the empire, and he defeated as well as. And he never looked back. He soon transformed into a vast empire in 305 BC. When Seleucus, a Greek general, invaded India, Chandragupta Maurya defeated him. Once again, an invader, one Greek invader, came into India. Seleucus, his name was Seleucus. Also, okay, Chandragupta Maurya also defeated Seleucus in the year of 305 BC, and also won, also defeated. Chandragupta Maurya also defeated him. Seleucus not only surrendered the 4 provinces of Herat, Kandahar, Kabul and Baluchistan, but also had to give his daughter in marriage to the Mauryan ruler. Now, step by step, how he defeated. This is the journey of Chandragupta Maurya. He was first a man, army officer in the Nanda dynasty. First, he defeated the Alexander 326 BC. After 2 years, okay, 322, he defeated, okay, Dhanananda, Punjab, and afterwards he also defeated Seleucus and added lots of different small and integrated into his empire, and how he extended his vast empire, his vast kingdom, Chandragupta Maurya. Okay, so Seleucus, who also gave the 4 major provinces to Chandragupta Maurya. First Balochistan, Herat and Kandahar. These cities, it is right now present in Afghanistan, and Seleucids give all four major provinces that came under Seleucids, and they surrender all four provinces, Seleucids provinces, and also gave his daughter for the marriage to the Mauryan ruler Chandragupta Maurya. So encouraged by success in both, Chandragupta Maurya is credited to have won many southern states as well as. Thus Chandragupta Maurya laid the foundation of vast empire, and it led him. He conquered all the northern parts of India, but now he gained confidence that he was able to conquer the southern kingdoms and empire, and integrated some of the southern empire into the northern Mauryan empire. So Chandragupta Maurya laid the foundation of vast empire which extended from Bengal in the east to Hindu Kush in the west. From Bengal to Hindu Kush, Bengal, it is situated in the west side of India. West to east, Hindu Kush, it is situated. Hindu Kush in the east. How? Okay, with the help of his friend, with his bravery, with his mind, he conquered, he defeated, he extended, he expanded his vast empire in North India and some of the part of South India. From the Himalayas in the north and Mysore in south. From Himalayas to Mysore. From north to south, Himalayas in the north and Mysore it is in the south. Four sides he conquered, four sides he won the battles, empire, okay, from east to west and north to south. He extended his major empire. And Chandragupta was also a great administrator at that time. After the Mauryan Empire, after Chandragupta Maurya, his son Bindusara, after Chandragupta, who came to the throne of the son of Chandragupta Maurya, Bindusara came into the power. He ruled after the death of his father. Ruled for some years, 298 to 273. We see he ruled. Okay, his son Bindusara. But not much is known about his region. After his illustration son Asoka succeeded him, and after Bindusara, who came? Asoka the Great. Asoka came into the power, and you know that what had happened. After the Mauryan Empire, many empires were established in India, but the credit of establishing of the Mauryan Empire goes to only to the Chandragupta Maurya, the great, very powerful, very strong ruler of Mauryan Empire, Mauryan dynasty in North India. India was invaded by the Greek conqueror Alexander, who conquered a number of small kingdoms of the northwest and left many Greek settlers there. Yes. So now, dear students, you know that being impressed by Chandragupta's bravery, Seleucus married his daughter Helena. The daughter of Seleucus is Helena, and I am going to write this word Helena. He was very impressed with the bravery of Chandragupta, and that's why he married his daughter to Chandragupta. Chandragupta and sent his ambassador Magasthena to his court. So Magasthena brought a book at that time, Indica, which provide important and basic information about the capital and administration of Magad Empire. Now, the Mauryan administration, that I am going to give you some of the important topic. Mauryan administration. What is that we have already discussed? Mauryan administration. Founder, we have completed how he expanded, how he extended his kingdom in north part of India and some of the part of the South India, and now the Mauryan administration. Most of our knowledge about Mauryan administration is derived from the accounts recorded by the Greek ambassador Magasthena. Greek ambassador who came in India. Okay, Greek ambassador. I am going to tell you the spelling. Megasthensene. Magasthensene. Okay. In his book Indica. In his book, very important, Indica. In his book Indica. The other source of our knowledge is the book written by Chandragupta minister Chanakya. Minister of Chandragupta. Chanakya or Kaulya. These are the sources, and from these sources we can get information, we can get knowledge about the administration during the Chandragupta, how they administrate, how they manage, what they were doing at the time. So these are the sources. So Greek ambassador Magasthena wrote one book named called Indica, and from his favorite minister Chanakya. Okay, the source of knowledge of this book written by Chandragupta minister called Arthashastra. Very easy. Arthashastra. Arthashastra. In Gujarati it is called Arthashastra. In Gujarati, and in English it is called economics. How to manage money. How to give money, how to sell, how to buy, how to rule, how to administer the proper empire, that he has written in this book, Arthashastra. Central government, the king was the highest authority of the state, as right now PM and the president of India that holds the highest position. In the same way, in the central government, the king was the king holding the highest position, highest authority. The king holding the highest position. Holding the highest position. And he was, however, assisted by the council of the minister. Right now, how many different IAS, different officers, they are assisting our CM, our PM, our president at the same time, like that only. Different council, different minister who assisted the king to take different decisions to administer their particular empire. The ministers were wise and loyal to the king. Each minister was individually responsible for his department. So, Each minister has different responsibilities. Each minister individual responsibility. Beside the minister, there were the other officers who carried out their respective duties. They were adhyakyas, superintendents in English, amatyas, executive officers, and I am going to write down, okay, superintendents, as well as they have executive officer that execute the plan, execute the law, executive officers. Executive officers. Second one, third one is governors, mahamatyas, that we have discussed. Mahamatras, it is in the word. Governors, and last Rajukas. It is known as judicial officer, those who impart the justice, judicial officers. We are discussing right now about the administration during the Mauryan Empire, during the Mauryan period, dynasty. Officer and Yuktas, the treasury officer, and last one is Yuktas. Yuktas means treasury officers who manage the money, who manage the income of that kingdom. Provincial government. The whole empire was divided into 4 provinces of Magad, Takshila, Ujjain, and Swarinagri. Okay, Swarnagri. 4 provinces, main 4 provinces that are existed during the Mauryan Empire. First one is Magad, second one is Takshila, third one is Ujjain, and the last one is Swaranagri. The administration, the district looked after by the Sthanakas, and that village by the village headmen called Gramikas or Graminis. Like the Sarpanch, right now it is known as the Sarpanch, the head of that village. But at that time, the person who known as the headman of that village, and as well as known as Gramika or Graminis, who manage the village, small towns. Revenue system. The land revenue was the chief source of income. It is varied from 1/6 to 1/4 of total produce. Taxes was also collected from mines, forest, cattle, toll tax, professional tax. Right now the whole system that we are following, our government in the democratic nation, we are following this system only. How it came? It is all about more than 300 years old, and we are following still. So we have to show gratitude towards this Arthashastriyas, economists, the great economists, Chanakya or Kautilya. So with the help of, we are getting all this knowledge, information, how to manage our nation. So revenue, and we are collecting, the government is collecting different revenue to the different taxes, and the people of that nation that pays to the government and help the government. The last one is military administration. Chandragupta maintained a huge army of 6 lakh infantry, 30,000 cavalry, and 9,000 elephants, 8,000 chariots. Besides, there was an efficient network of spy system. These spies kept the emperor informed about all the important matters. So this kind of administration was going on during the Mauryan Empire. I hope, dear students, you got the concept. First concept, first revision part. In second revision part, we will discuss about the further details about the GPR, Grand Trunk Road, Kalingawad, who changed the heart of the great Emperor Ashoka. That we will discuss in second revision lecture. And I hope through this revision class, I hope you got the concept, you understood all the important topics, important notes of first part that we have already completed, we have already finished through the live classes, and this will help you to understand what we have studied and what we are going to study, what we are going to learn in future live classes. So dear students, if you have any doubt, you will get your worksheet very soon with introduction, with proper homework. And if you have any doubt, any queries regarding to this chapter, regarding to this topic, just find it out first of all from yourself. And if you find any difficulty after hard working, then call me or message me. So I will try my best to solve your problem as soon as possible. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye.